Hey everybody, it's Joel here again for the final week of guided meditation and mindfulness lessons in the AMP program. So congratulations to you for making it all the way through this thing. And give yourself a little gratitude for making it this far. No matter what you're taking from this, it says something about you that you're willing to take a risk, put yourself out there, and grow in a way that you want to grow. So yeah, good job. Pat on the back, well deserved. For this session, we're going to get into talking about something I've struggled with, a lot of us struggle with, procrastination. Procrastination is a bugger. And oftentimes, we think of it as this like time management problem, which no doubt it is. Some of us seem to have more difficulties getting to stuff in a timely manner. Waiting till the last minute when we feel that rush of energy and scramble to get something done, writing a paper, studying for a test, doing some type of chore, whatever it might be. For some reason, some of us have more difficulty with this kind of thing than others. And I think oftentimes we underappreciate the role of emotions in procrastination. In fact, something that I often say, and I strongly believe, is that procrastination is most often an emotional avoidance problem rather than a time management problem. Let me explain. There are probably some things that you do that you have no difficulties procrastinating. Like you'll do it right away, whether it's playing video games or going out with friends or generally doing something enjoyable, which is important, right? There are those things for some of us that we have no problems with. And in fact, some of those things even that aren't as enjoyable, like cleaning your room. I know whenever I had a test when I was back in college and grad school, if I had something to do like a test coming up, never was my room cleaner. I would rather be cleaning my room, something I generally don't really like, than studying for a test. Now, so that's a bit harder to understand because obviously I'm going to like to do something like playing a video game or doing something else that's enjoyable more than I would studying for a test. But how would you explain me doing something I don't really want to do, like cleaning my room? And I think this has to do oftentimes with the emotions that are brought up attributed to that thing that we're anticipating doing. So if I'm, studying for a test, it causes me to think about that thing and fear failing it a bit. Like, I don't want to fail. And if I put myself in the context of studying, that's kind of exposing myself to that threat. So that's something I don't really want to experience. Also, boredom, oftentimes, in a class we don't really care about. We have a chapter that we got to read. We might have a quiz on it next class. We don't know. It'd be good if we just kind of kept with it and just got that reading out of the way so we can get on with our lives, but we find ourselves waiting on it. That could be because of boredom. We don't want to experience boredom, which is an emotion in and of itself. So things like this can come up when we anticipate or try to do things that we have to do and we don't really want to do. And we don't really want to do it because of the emotions that come with it, so then we put it off. Now when we put it off, our brain rewards us, and this is maybe unconscious, usually is unconscious for people where, sorry, I have a mosquito flying around, where when I avoid that thing, my brain gives me a shot of dopamine and encourages me to keep avoiding it. So like another example, excuse me, that if you were to imagine yourself on kind of a cold day, not too cold, like you'd still want to go swimming, and your friends are already in the pool swimming, and they're having fun, they're splashing around. You want to jump in, but when you jump in, your body is going to experience this sudden rush of cold. You don't want to experience that, so you put it off. You stand on the side of the pool and you shake, and you pace back and forth. All the while you're getting goosebumps, you're getting colder and colder. So really it doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't seem like it's very rewarding. But actually, because you're avoiding that it's not an emotion, that sensation of being cold, your brain is rewarding you for that. It's kind of like a fight or flight response. That thing is threatening. You don't want to experience that, so you avoid it, and your brain facilitates a continued pattern. What ends up happening, though, is it doesn't end up being that rewarding. because you're missing out on all kinds of fun in there. And you know that when you jump into that pool, your body will feel that rush of cold, and then you'll be able to go, you'll get used to it right away, and you'll be able to go have fun with your friends. So it's a really tricky reward system, and an unfortunate thing sometimes for our brains, that it does that when we're on autopilot. So remember way back when we were talking about the range between mindlessness and mindfulness. If we're mindless and going on autopilot, we're just kind of go with the wind and where our mind takes us. So if that avoidance reward is at play, we're just going to go with it and not think about what we really want. We want to get that thing done, so we can feel good about it and feel successful and whatever else comes with completion of a task. But if we're not mindful, we're not aware of the forces at play that are pulling us this way and that. We're not empowered to make a choice. So that's where mindfulness comes in. With procrastination, if we can consider this an emotional avoidance problem, then the answer can come with identifying what emotions are at play. And so today, not in this video, but a separate one that you can link to on the meditations page for this week, we're going to do something called the mountain meditation. Now, the mountain meditation is a metaphor where you're going to imagine yourself as a mountain. Mountains are more or less eternal, like they'll always be there. And they experience a lot of storms that come through, seasons that pass, different temperatures, lots of stuff happening on the outside of the mountain. And no matter what happens, that mountain remains. And so as we think about improving something like procrastination, I think this particular metaphor can be effective, because if you consider yourself a mountain and you're going into a thing that you don't really want to do, maybe it's studying for a test. If you can consider yourself a mountain, and then think about what storms are at play right now, to actually call and invite attention to those things that you don't really like, the boredom, the anxiety, the dread, whatever it is that you're pushing away, you might notice that you can get used to that and do the thing anyway. And as a result, procrastinate less. So I hope that makes sense, in how emotions can be a thing that we're usually unconsciously being defined by when we procrastinate. And if we call attention and mindful awareness to those emotions, we might be able to navigate the course anyway with those emotions at play. We might even find we're much better equipped to handle those things than we predicted. So I hope this helps. Check in with your AMP facilitators if you have any questions. This will be it for me, other than the meditation that you'll link to after this. I just want to say it's been I haven't met yet, but I'm thankful for your interest and your willingness to engage in this process. I hope it's helped, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Take good care of yourself, and bye-bye.